Okay, my name is Joe Krawski Jr. I'm a friend of John Duke Mason. We're at Vernon Manor, and I first came in because I Manchester Memorial Hospital. What I did do was I cracked my hip bone.
Yeah.
Didn't smash it, but I did crack it.
Yeah.
And by cracking it, they sent me up here for a recovery.
Yeah. Vernon Manor, right?
Right, to Vernon Manor.
Right.
When I got here, they found out I had bacteria in my blood.
Yeah.
And they didn't want this hanging around here too much, so they sent me up to Rockville General Hospital. I went up to Rockville General, and then they sent me back here.
Yeah.
And now, and then all of a sudden, I developed a pee problem.
Yeah.
You know,
you got a catheter.
I got a catheter.
Yeah.
And so now, I don't know when I'm going to be out of here.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough.
Yeah. Can you pull yourself up?
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right, Mike. It's only my head.
Yeah.
Hold on. This isn't your mother's car.
Oh, my mother's car must be lower.
Yeah, it is lower.
Go ahead. I'll bring my mother's car Monday.
Okay, guys, get me up.
Okay, ready? Up. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. There we go.
I thought it said your mother's car.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so down Dart Hill?
Yeah.
Okay. So how's your stay been at the Vernon Manor?
Well, it depends. It's been much better. But over the one I put. The meals have been much better.
Uh-huh. How the people?
Some are, it depends on who you get. There's some very nice people and some very bad people.
Yeah. They tell you how much longer you're going to be there?
Well, I know I'm going to be there, either there or upstairs for probably another few more months.
We just want to get an idea of, how you're feeling mentally and how you're hanging in there.
Well, mentally, first of all, it's a big change from the lifestyle I once had.
Yeah.
180 degrees.
Yeah, so you were at elderly senior housing in South Windsor.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was the oldest guy there.
Yeah.
You can understand elderly housing. Actually, elderly housing is strange because a lot of people are come in there in their 30s.
Disabled.
Or for some reason or another.
Yeah, and how does that jive with you?
Well, the fact is, I thought when I was going there, I was going to go with a lot of older people.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I found out that I'm probably right now the oldest guy there.
Yeah.
At 82.
Yeah, and so the goal is to get back there?
Yeah, well, because I'm the apartment.
Yeah.
Where can I get an apartment for $223 a month?
Right. What's going on with your house,
I don't know.
apartment?
I just pay the rent. That's all.
You hear from anybody?
Well, I heard from Cliff this morning.
Yeah. What about Al Kachunas?
No, not people are straight.
When did you actually retire from farming? What age?
77, 78.
78 years old? And you were doing those edible flowers?
Yeah, edible flowers and basil towards the end.
Now, what years were those?
Well, they were from 1990 to 2018 till I was 2016, I guess.
Now, is there money in that?
Yeah, there was money in that.
Now, who would you sell to?
Well, I sold to, actually it was flour. But then the basil, they were shipping it in from Colombia. And it would kill me.
Yeah. What would kill you?
Well, they were sending it cheaper, you know.
Was this all farmland one time?
Oh yeah, I farmed right here left.
Dart Hill.
I farmed those fields. When my spirits back, like you couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Here too. It's all Kachunas' land. grandson.
Now, which Kupchunas?
Well, that was Kupchuna's brothers. Walt, Al's father was Walt, and then Benny, and then Paulie, and then...
Well, I wanted to ask you, what do farmers share? What is the one thing or two things that unifies all farmers?
The weather. Everybody bitches and moans about that. No, it can affect you one way or the other, either positively or negatively.
Now, you told me earlier you were, of course, everyone knows you were a farmer and also a math teacher, and you compared the two professions as planting a seed. You want to just tell me about that analogy again?
Well, it's the same thing. When you're teaching something, you're planting a seed, and you hope it goes to fruition at the end. And I mean, and the same thing. When you plant up a seed, you hope that it grows into a nice plant.
So we're also here with Margaret Kowski, and she's a friend of yours from she was a student of yours, you said. And you guys were talking about earlier how she was in the back room, and you said you had back of the room, and you had students who were in the back of the room who were better students, or
well, the thing is, it was a mixed class of everybody, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
well, they had 4 or 5 divisions in high school.
right, and some guys got put in the wrong division, and then you had to deal with that. To be honest, as a teacher, it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah. So you had students in 10s and 15s who were not college oriented, and the higher students the higher grades were 40s and 55.
No, there were no 55s in there, but there were a lot of 25s and a lot of 40s maybe.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
And who were some of your students that stand out in your mind back then as far as excellent students?
Excellent students. The class of 77 was probably the smartest male class I ever had.
Really? Now, why is that?
We had Lenkai, and then you had a whole bunch of them in there. Michael, what was his name? 770. That was the smartest male class, plus the class of 75, Cliff Lange's class.
Yeah.
So set the males at 75, at 77, 76 too, and then.
How about the females? What stands out? Any females stand out?
Well, I'll tell you some. Well, when I first started teaching, Judy Roman was one of the Roman girls.
Yeah.
She was brighter.
What class was she?
Joyce Warren,
Yeah.
class of 63, 64.
Yeah.
Had a lot of smart women.
Yeah.
Eileen Ducey.
Yeah.
The whole bunch.
Yeah.
So I knew them. Actually, what the strange thing is this, that as the years have progressed, guys who were former students have become friends and dear friends. And that is the important thing to me. Because you don't lose friendship, because in order to be a good teacher, you have to be kind of a person interested in that person as a person.
Right.
And once you find out what type of person he is, then as life progresses, you can become friends.
Let me throw out a few names to you and just give me your opinion of them and what kind of relationship you had with them. And we'll start with legendary coach Charlie Sherris.
From afar, I knew him.
Right.
When in his 57 team, my cousin played for him.
Your cousin was who?
Bernie Krawski.
Bernie Krawski, yeah.
And Bernie Krawski played for him. And then the class of 59, all of a sudden, they went to the state finals. Right. In Class C.
Yeah.
And they were defeated, I believe, in that.
Yeah. So Sherris, as a fellow co-worker, came and...
I didn't know him until really I started teaching.
Yeah.
In 1967.
Your relationship with Charlie, through the years, you worked a good 15, 20 years with him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I worked even longer. I knew him as
what kind of relationship did you have? Did you
I had a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
Because we'd always, after a ball game, we'd always go over to his house and drink and cavort and so I got to know him really well.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Mayette was always on his shit list.
Right.
And so now all
But
of a
you
sudden,
and Bobby Mayette, during those glory years of the late 60s, or all the 60s, Ronnie Reardon's era,
Right.
66, you and Bobby Mayette ran the ticket booth for the...
we ran everything.
You did. And what
Actually,
was
all
fun?
the buses, the 15 buses that went, 20 buses that went. Bobby, he had a specific job to do.
Yeah.
And that was total money.
Yeah.
He had to bring in total money and distribute total money. My job was to do all the interim things where he spent his money on.
Now, you and Bobby were close, right?
We were close.
Yeah.
A lot of times we call each other, being close sometimes is not, but we didn't argue very much.
Yeah, and he died relatively young.
53.
53, yeah. And I wanted to ask you also about Carol Harding as a teacher. And
She was a fantastic teacher. She was, there was no, she, again, operated much like I did. She wanted to get to know the people and, their families, and she got to know just not you as a student, but she wanted to go farther than just that, and that's what she did do.
Okay, how about Ann Duffy? Was a fellow math teacher.
Now Ann Duffy, they said they called her Tuffy Duffy, but she had the interest of a student, really, because she wanted to make certain that they knew math, okay? But she had a good, and not only that interest, people thought she only had an interest in their math ability, and had an interest in people too. She was a people person. She came from a farm, from old Broad Brook, where everybody knew everybody, and she was kind of that way in school.
Was there any competitive?
No, she used to call it Joe's department and my department. I taught a different way, and she taught a different way. However, we respected each other's way of doing it, and she was my department head.
Tell me about the championship teams of 70 and 71.
Frankly, I think it started in 1937, because the Ellsworth what happened was, Hugh Greer, who became the coach at UConn, had consecutive victories of 48, 64. In high school, they only played, you went 4 years practically without losing a game.
Now, he had 5 state championships during his time at Ellsworth in Class C, and he had, I think, 3 undefeated seasons before he went on to UConn. What kind of man was Hugh Greer?
Hugh Greer, I'll tell you something, he wasn't a yeller or a screamer. He was a gentleman's gentleman. When he got up, he was like, who used to be the
John Wooden? UCLA?
Yeah, but John Wooden and the Dodger manager, okay, Walter Alston. He was a kind of a guy. He got up, and when he said something, you better be listening. You better, and so he was that type of guy.
So South Windsor.
He was guard oriented. He wanted guards pushing in.
So we jump to Jack Rhodes, who played in the 50s and also brought a state title. What was he like as a player? You saw him.
Well, the guy was a Kowski-like player.
Jack Rhodes.
Back behind everywhere. Layups, fancy dandy, and he could do it too, and not without, he could really do it. And so, but when he was he played with the varsity team as an 8th grader and 7th grader. Imagine that.
Yeah, that good, huh? Yeah. And then you saw Ronnie Reardon.
But then Ronnie came in 63, 64, 65. The Reardons, now, then that was what I call the Reardon era. Okay, so we went from the Ellsworth era to then it was like the Reardon and Sal, Randazzo, that era.
Dennis Murphy,
and then after that came the.
So that era, the Reardon era, was different. How he had a brother, Richie Reardon, right?
Yeah.
And he was a great athlete too. Right?
All the Reardons were great athletes.
Mm-hmm. Why did Ronnie stand out? What was it about Ronnie?
Shooter.
Because he was an All-American
Shooter.
in college.
Well, the guy could shoot.
Points.
The guy could shoot like you couldn't even believe. I mean, when he'd come out, some guys said, we just don't know how he made that score, how he made that shot. He'd be out 20, 30 feet, boom, a hook shot, boom, in.
And so from Reardon, you went to Roy, actually. So
Yeah, Roy,
Rhodes, Reardon, and Roy.
And then after the Roy era, the Goodwin era.
The Goodwin era, okay. But let's talk about the Roy era. What was so special about the Roy era? That was, back-to-back state titles.
Well, I can remember Charlie yelling, feed the big man, feed the big man. He wanted him to go to a real high class, upper, college.
Yeah.
So I can remember him yelling, feed the big man. I said, to myself, I said, Charlie, there are 5 other guys on the team, and maybe they can get scholarships too, if you feed them.
Right.
Fiddler was when we needed Tommy Roy the most was the first game down at Wilbur Cross.
Oh no.
And those neighbor guys knew that he was the white man's player.
Yeah.
And they got by the end of the third quarter, he had fouled out. I mean, he couldn't even do anything. If he moved it and that was it. It was a foul. Bam, boom, boom. And what happened was, so now I'll tell you who the real athlete was. A guy named Phil Levesque.
A Frenchman.
Frenchman.
From Parkview Street, or where was he from?
No, Phil Levesque came out of your neighborhood.
Oh yeah, off of Ellington. What is that street?
Up but Levesque, but
he came through for that game, and that was the first game.
Then who had to play? I was
a Goodwin or
we had another
Frank
guy, a smaller guy who was a left-handed dribbler.
Oh, Al Jankowski.
Al Jankowski was a left-handed dribbler.
Right.
Goodbye, good luck. I did tell you,
that was the first game that I think that team won without Roy.
First of all, what happened to Wilbur Cross, they went to the Duke 4 slot. You know what I mean? The 4?
To freeze the ball.
These guys had never practiced that because they never needed to do it and couldn't do it. And they were losing their ball. Now, we were 11 points behind when the fourth quarter started. Mm-hmm. When the fourth quarter ended, we were even. Mm-hmm. We were even. Mm-hmm. Now we go to overtime. And then I realized what we were going to do. We're going to blow these guys out. And I told Charlie, with about a minute and a half to go, I said, Charlie, call time. What do you mean? You tell me. What do you want? I said, look, I got to get these kids out the back door. The cops, it was a Lithuanian cop who told me, none of your guys, all your people have to go out.
So you feared that a victory in New Haven in a predominantly African-American community would have been a problem.
But there was more of us there than they. But the question is, I didn't want any fisticuffs with the kids or with parents either. I mean, John Fiddler's father was no small guy.
Yeah. You were able to pull that off.
God be who's the girl's cheerleader's father.
Ralph Giansanti.
Giansanti, yeah, I mean, man, he came from the North End of Harvard. He would have loved that. Joey, I can handle him. Yeah. I look, Ralph, I know you can. Yeah. But we're all going out the backside, and all of the Haven PD has come into the parking lot. So parents can get out, and I said, we're going to get on the bus. The rule was, when you came with this bus, at 15 of them, the bus you came in, you must leave it.
Okay. Now, you also had the same problem the last game of the season with Wilbur Cross at South Windsor.
Yeah, but
that game capped a 20-0 season. There was a problem with that game because they arrived at the gym. The gym was already filled, and Wilbur Cross couldn't get their fans in the gym, and they were upset. I know the coach, Bob Salisbury, was upset that he had to put his fans, most of them, in the auditorium.
No, he didn't. Because I moved them out.
You did?
Yeah, did.
Wow.
Yep. I moved them out into an area. I said, look, guys, and I went and explained to everybody that this is the Wilbercross section.
And how many people do you think were at that game? I had never seen that many.
Well,
people.
between all the guys with TV, I would say 6,000.
6,000.
Jim.
That's a little stretch, but we'll go with it
No.
for now. No, the gym only holds 2,000. And I know there were
Wait a
people
minute.
around.
Then we had
Joe.
Wait a minute. We had TV in the
6,000 including the auditorium.
including the auditorium. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Not only that, but the cafeteria.
Cafeteria too.
And also, all the alleyways. There was TVs all over the place.
Now, did you know Jonesy? Jones Farm over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonas. It was the Lithuanians.
Yeah.
Patsy Jones. I knew him.
What do you
My grandpa had a mortgage on that farm.
Oh,
My
yeah?
grandpa had a mortgage on all the farms in here, in Avery Street.
Really?
Yeah, he had about a good 800 acres, maybe 900 acres on Avery Street.
How many acres did your father own at one time?
500.
500 acres?
Yeah.
Was he like the wealthiest man in town?
At one time, yeah. Yeah, he was pretty wealthy, along with the shepherds. I think this is Burnham's corn, by the way.
Oh, Burnham's corn? Yeah.
Maybe. Still Burnham's corn. I don't know.
Just a couple tomatoes?
Just a couple of tomatoes.
Hi, Mr. Kowski.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm well. How
What's
are
your first name?
Hey,
That's Lynn Jones.
right. I know the Jones family. Jonas is their real name.
Yeah. Say what?
Jonas.
Jonas?
A Lithuanian would be Jonas.
Yep.
That's what it was. My grandpa had mortgages on all these farms here, from Mosekabics to Bloziks to Masons, and even here, old man
Alec?
Alec Blozik. No, it was old man Alec. Yeah, and
Good man.
yep, he had a lot of kids, tall. They were really tall kids. His daughters were like 6'2". You wouldn't believe how tall those girls were.
Well, what do you want? You want 4 tomatoes?
Yeah, 4 tomatoes.
That's it?
That's it for now.
Yeah,
but
because you can't cook.
I can't cook.
All right.
Yeah. They don't have to be that big either.
They don't have to be big, he said. Yeah. How's your husband? Yeah. Is he still working? Yeah. His body says retired.
How old is he now?
How old is your husband, you said? 61.
Young, yeah. Patsy's Patsy, I know Patsy in school.
Patsy was the older
Oh,
daughter.
older daughter,
Yeah,
right.
and then there's Alec.
Okay, well, hold on.
No, Mr. Kowski.
No, hell no.
Oh, no, me.
Hell no, a lot of people.
Alex married a really stubborn woman, so don't.
Okay,
no,
hold
put
on.
that away. I
Gi-
get to do it once a year. Come on.
give me give me 3 or 4 back out of 10.
No way.
Yeah, take it, please. Take the whole 10 for I care.
Do you mind talking about your personal life? Do you want to talk about your marriage or anything?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something.
You got married relatively late. You were
43 years old.
Yeah,
I got
and
married.
are you?
And actually, I kind of knew it too at the time. She married me because I had money, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I was a strong male image for her 2 sons, where she was left a widow with those 2 sons and a daughter. Now, the daughter was no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
She was at Union College studying chemistry. She then had to go to the University of Michigan to get her doctorate degree in chemistry. So she was a bright girl and a good girl. And I mean, and she was, but her mother had boys, and I had, the deal is you're not my father.
Right. Well, I'm sure every man goes through that when he marries into a family. That
And you're not my father. I said, well, let's put it this way. I'm not your sire. Okay?
Yeah. That must have gone over big. That must have gone over big.
Well, and then, Bruce was like changing his motorcycle oil on my brand new, the house today be worth that, you saw what it's worth 800 G's, no matter how you cut the mustard. 800 G's, maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
And I built that beautiful home, and he's changing his motorcycle oil on my
New driveway.
no cement steps that lead to my office.
Yeah. Let's talk about your family. What you enjoyed most about growing up in South Windsor?
Growing up in South Windsor was to be on a farm. That was an important thing. I mean, my brother Billy and I, we worked the farm. Bernie and I, my cousins, we all worked the farm. All the males worked the farm. But Bernie, Billy, and I, my cousin Bernie, my brother Billy, and myself were a mainstay of the young staff. And that's what we did. And so we got to know each other pretty well. In fact, I considered Bernie more than a brother than my brother Billy.
Yeah, no, I don't know Bernie. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's up in Pittsburgh, Mass.
Have you seen him lately?
Not really lately, but I come in contact with him, either over the phone, because I'm writing the history of the Krawski family.
You are?
Huh?
You are. You're writing a history of Krawski. Now, you're 81? 82. Okay.
I'm 82, but I'm writing the history of the Krawski family, and I've got it pretty much in longhand done.
Right.
I print. I print.
Yeah.
I've got it pretty much all the way done.
Yeah. Now,
120 pages.
Okay, we're gonna wait for that story to come out.
Well, the thing is, what I want to do is I'll let you read it sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Now, I wanted to ask you about occurrences or things in South Windsor during your lifetime, things that stand out in your mind, of things that may have changed the town, or
I'll tell you one thing, that it was the hurricane of '38. Everybody, when they thought a hurricane was coming, was scared turkey because of that hurricane of '38.
Right.
And I remember I was just 7 years old. I was coming home from school, and we had to walk. It was during the war. So we had to walk all the way down to Oakland Road and then go up Foster Street. They they had no buses up at Foster Street. So we walked out. So I was walking up. My mother says, "Yo, Billy, you gotta go there." And Bernie, she says, "I've got to go help the men tack shed, doors up,
Right.
so they wouldn't be blowing." So we were handling them all with nails, and the guys were banging, and we worked till late at night. Then my grandfather ordered us all into the main 117 Foster Street. He said, "If we go, we all go together."
So what are they going to do at the doc's office today?
I don't know. Christ, I didn't want to go. My sister wanted to go. Oh, shit. If I had my way, I wouldn't go today.
Yeah, why?
Well, because, what use? I mean, we walk in, he's not going to tell me much about my peace stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that the x-rays turned out well.
Yeah, this is the last time we take this car, that's for sure. Seat's too high.
Yeah.
You need a low seating car to be transported. Is that pin in your hip? I guess we should be careful of that, huh?
Well, no, it's okay.
It's okay?
Because it's tobacco.
Now, whose tobacco is this?
Probably what else. It's nice looking tobacco.
Yeah.
It's more like a vanity.
Yeah. So that's your old house, 178?
Yeah, 178, 117, and 215. I had 3 houses on this road.
All right, so we'll just pull up and I'll...
Yeah, I think it's right up here in the first building.
Yeah, I know, but what is it? Is it a hip doctor?
No, I know it is. I know. If I see the name up on the board,
Okay.
I'll recognize it right away.
Okay.
First one. I believe it's the first one.
Up here?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, it's up top.
You see where we're at? Is this the doctor?
Yeah, I know where we're at. Yeah, it's easier getting out.
Oh, yeah.
One leg at a time.
Yeah, one leg at a time.
Charlie used to say they're on their jock strap the same as you, one leg at a time. Twist your legs.
Yeah.
Twist your leg. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Can you swing your hips over?
Yeah, I think so.
No, don't put your leg back in. Keep it down on the ground.
Keep it down on the ground.
Yeah. Okay. And just lift up. Pull here. Pull there. That's it. That's it. Your feet. That's it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Oh.
So what'd they say? That went well, right? They just look at it, or?
Just a hip. She's I can give a twist, turn. It's load bearing. You can take any weight, everything.
Yeah.
But now the thing is to get rid of this piece thing, and
Well, that'll be Monday, right?
well, I don't know about getting rid of it, but I'll get a better idea of where I stand on it. Yeah.
You'll be one step closer. How long were you in the Rotary for?
Oh, 12 years.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Take a lift up here.
Yeah. Who were some of the guys in there? Was Harvey Levac around and Sam Gordon, Way Best Chicken?
Yeah, they were left up here. And then we had all the Goodwin boys and
the Goodwin brothers, right?
Yeah.
Don owned Rex Lumber. Or?
Yeah. But then we had Dexter Burnham, and we had.
Well, did Dexter Burnham start the JI?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Journal Enquirer.
Well, he actually was. He started with the Enquirer and merged with the Journal.
Okay. All right. Who else was in that group? Andy Charbonneau.
Charbonneau.
I think he's still in that group. Charbonneau. John Mitchell just died.
John Mitchell.
Yeah. Was Woodcock in that?
Woodcock was too. Yep.
Yeah. Who were some of
Carol Waddick was in there.
Who?
Carol Waddick, he was insurance man. Hold on, slowly. I want to see. Look, they did the house over. 178.
Yeah.
But see, this is nice tobacco right here.
Yeah.
Looks like Havana.
Yeah. How many types of tobacco are there?
Oh, there's a few, but this is broadleaf and Havana, basically the basic categories.
Yeah.
And when it goes up like that, it looks like Havana.
Yeah. Now I forget, what's the difference between shade and?
Shade is growing in a tent closet.
What did you grow?
We go broadleaf.
Broadleaf. And is that the kind you cut and then you spare and then you hang?
Yep.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the town. What's changed for you with the town?
Oh, going from an agricultural to a suburban community, the biggest change going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When it was agricultural, it was all farmland at one time.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, all farmland.
Yeah.
And then it went to suburbia.
Yeah. What years were suburbia?
Oh, suburbia started a little bit. Actually, it was in 70s and 80s.
Oh, okay. Before that, it was all farm.
Yeah.
How are you doing without drinking anymore? You haven't had a drink in about, what?
2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
But I wasn't drinking that much. You see, here's the deal. People thought I was a big drinker. I really wasn't.
No.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't think you had a problem either. I remember once we talked about it. You said you don't think you had a drinking problem.
No, I don't.
Well, how often did you drink?
I drank 2 drinks a day.
Ever since you were what? In high school or college or?
I was in college. I got out of college about 2 drinks a day.
Yeah. Beers or whiskey?
A lot of whiskey, but I would drink a whiskey with ginger ale and a beer.
Yeah. Well, you were always a loud guy, so maybe they thought you were tipsy or something.
I go down to Civies, have 2 drinks, and I leave.
Yeah.
B&G, 2 drinks, and I leave.
Yeah. So what's the game plan for you at this point?
Drop back 15 and punt. No. Well,
you get well enough to get back into your apartment?
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I can't, I don't know where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Where am I going to go? I'll get there and work around it the best I can with whatever I got.
Yeah. You always were a survivor. All right, home sweet home.
Yeah.
This is going to the nurses. Okay, let me get the...
time.
Can you grab this here?
No, it's right.
How about if I bring it closer?
There you go. Beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
much easier getting out of it than
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap this up by saying your future. At this point, at 82, what do you hope the future brings for you? Do you have the?
Yeah, I hope good health, reasonably good health, until I die, and I really mean that. I'm sincerely, from my bottom of my heart, I mean that. All I want is, I don't want to be stuck in here. I mean, I want to get out. Now I'm going to have some problems when I get out, because my apartment is not really ready for me to come back. I'm not ready for it, but I have a hard time standing up. Would you believe that?
Sure, I believe.
I mean, getting into a John is a major domo for me. I mean, I've got a lot of problems with that. So I mean, I'm not certain as to how I'm going to operate out of here.
And what would you like from your friends and
Well, I'm
people
gonna
who
tell you
care
something.
about you? What do you ask from
Well,
them?
I'm going to ask for what's like I asked for you.
Yeah,
To do me a favor.
yeah.
Then I've got a couple of others. I got about 4 or 5 people I can ask for down deep, and I'm certain even more who would be more than happy to do it. But I just hope that because I have an inability to just do certain things, if they can fill in for that inability, then it will make me very happy and kind of glad inside, happy inside. And it's like you coming here. I know you didn't put yourself out. I know you did.
Let me ask you one last question, and you're welcome. I do it. I enjoy it. But when you look back on your life, what do you cherish most? What do you are thankful for?
Well, thankful for is that I met a lot of people, and I was very happy to meet a lot of people. I think I'm a people person, and that's where, over the years, between teaching, farming, everything else, post friendships with other people, I became very close. On the farm, everywhere, I became close to a lot of people, and I mean close. It's just not that we would, shake hi, how are you?
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, well, you're admired and respected by a lot of people still
cool.
after all these years. That a lot of students I talked to, or a lot of fellows.
Yeah, it was one thing they said, once you had Joe Krawski, you'll never forget him. I always said, I could tell a good teacher. Number one, you never forgot him. And Margaret, she said, she never forgot him.
Yeah.
You never forgot him. And that is basically how you can tell a good teacher. And like Carol Harding, Charlie Shares, a number of Bobby Mayette, once you had them, you never forgot them. You never forgot them.